Good Friday afternoon. Thanks for joining us on Kare 11 News Now. I'm Cece Gaines. Tensions are high at the state capitol as DFL lawmakers demand a vote on gun control. They held a sit-in overnight after a motion to force a vote failed. And Republican Speaker Lisa Dameth adjourned the session until today. Take a look.
The motion prevails and the House stands adjourned until 12 noon Saturday, May 16, 2026.
Things getting a little heated there. This morning, DFL lawmakers who spent the night in the House chamber spoke out about what exactly they're trying to accomplish by staying at the Capitol.
A lot has happened. We, as a caucus, came into this session determined to do everything we possibly could in order to pass meaningful gun violence prevention bills in the House, and we are doing that now. That is why this is happening. We need to vote on this package. So that's why we're here. All of us spent the night occupying the Capitol, occupying the House chamber, making sure that we bring people in with us into this chamber and use all power available to us to stop this epidemic of gun violence.
This gun package would need to get passed before the end of the session early next week. Ken Erdahl is here with a closer look at what's on the table.
A clear message rang out through the Capitol on Monday morning. The students demand action, along with other gun control advocates, delivered thousands of signed petitions calling for passage of the Senate's comprehensive gun violence prevention bill.
Just let it come to a vote. If the vote fails, the vote fails. But let the people see where everyone stands. That is all we are asking for. Just go on record.
But a short time later, it was clear that wouldn't be happening.
We are hearing calls today to hold the vote, and I'm wondering if you are going to allow a vote before the end of session on Senate File 4067.
The bill is being reviewed.
That response from Republican House Speaker Lisa Dameth was especially disappointing for the parents of Harper Moisky, who died in the Annunciation shooting.
Not even a month after we lost Harper and after the Annunciation shooting, we had Speaker Dameth in our living room. And so our simple ask to her at the time was, if there is a bill that has to do with gun violence, will you allow it to go to the floor? And her answer was yes. She would not block that.
Those votes have already taken place.
In a news conference today, Speaker Dameth offered her own explanation of her promise.
I had said early on that as bills are introduced, they will go through the committee process, and I have held tight to that promise. Those bills did not continue going through the committee process because they fell on a party line vote in the committees.
We want a vote. Speaker Dameth saying that is just simply not the case. This is an entirely different bill. It's a comprehensive package. These are all excuses.
But no matter how different it may be, or how many people sign petitions, rally at the Capitol, or sit in tonight, he says he knows the political reality now is that a comprehensive bill is all but certain to fall short this session. But he says it won't stop him or anyone else who stood with them.
I had limited expectations. It doesn't really change my opinion of things. I do think it's a political stunt. I do think they're afraid of taking the vote. It just leaves me a little bit disappointed, but not shocked. And it's more affirming that there's more work that needs to be done. I do think that'll have a meaningful impact on the election to come.
New video from the state capitol right now. Peace officers from across Minnesota are standing in silent vigil for the annual Peace Officer Memorial Day. This day is in honor of all 314 Minnesota officers who have died in the line of duty. The vigil at the Capitol started at 6 last night and will continue until 7 tonight. It will be immediately followed by a service featuring a parade with honor guards from across the state. President Trump has left China after 2 days of talks with China's president that saw both sides trade praise and tout progress in stabilizing what they agreed is the world's most important relationship. NBC's Janice Mackey-Freyer reports from Beijing.
President Trump left Beijing after a 2-day summit here with China's leader Xi Jinping, saying they made fantastic trade deals, but neither side has announced any breakthroughs. Trade was a top item on the agenda, along with the Iran war, fentanyl cooperation. There were warm words and pleasantries, talk of cooperation. President Trump said China would buy 200 Boeing jets, but neither Boeing nor Beijing have announced or confirmed it. A business delegation of more than a dozen CEOs were along for the trip to gain access and influence in the Chinese market. But deep differences remain between the U.S. and China over tariffs, rare earths and critical minerals, and Taiwan. Xi warning that mishandling the Taiwan issue could lead to a clash and jeopardize U.S.-China relations. The summit's second day was at Zhongnanhai. It's the compound that is the seat of power for the Communist Party here. The two leaders took a private walk and looked at trees and roses, both leaning into the optics of the scene, showing personal diplomacy. It was unusually intimate for Chinese officials and rare. Not many world leaders get to go there. On Iran, President Trump said they agree Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon and that the Strait of Hormuz must remain open. Air Force One took off early this afternoon. President Trump heading home after a summit, saying progress was made. Janice Mackey-Freyer, NBC News, Beijing.
Meanwhile, gas prices are still climbing as the U.S. and Iran war rages on, and critical Strait of Hormuz shipping route remains bottlenecked. Right now in Minnesota, you're paying about $4.41 per gallon of regular. That's up 6 cents from just yesterday and 70 cents from this time last month. Nationally, the average gas price per gallon is just over $4.50. On the sports now, the Wolves are back home tonight on the brink of elimination from the Western Conference semifinals. The exciting Game 6 showdown against the Spurs tipping off in just hours at Target Center. Game 6 means fans can add another shirt to their collection. Take a look at this new design. It's on the Timberwolves website. The Timberwolves need the win tonight to force a Game 7. The San Antonio Spurs are trying to put a stop to it quickly, though, hoping to keep their star players healthy. Well, it started in an elementary school music program has become something a lot bigger. This week, a group of young rock musicians at Cedar Island Elementary School finally got the concert they've been waiting months to perform. Here's Sammy Selena.
Now you know, now you can just rock out. Okay.
A universal pain.
We're playing the full deal tonight, yeah.
Parents of elementary musicians share.
He's 11 and he's a 5th grader, so of course.
Is getting them to practice.
He's okay at practicing. It goes in waves.
I battle about trying to get him to rehearse.
But Stephen Wolf.
We don't have May.
And Michael Fruncillo.
Boom!
May have found a motivator.
And by the way, we're BCRC from Cedar Island Elementary.
Rock music.
When everybody else is filing into their classes, we're in there making noise. It is cool, right?
The band has been rocking and rolling for 2 years.
These kids are practicing outside of school. They take their guitar home, they're playing in their basement, they're playing their drums, and they come back prepared and ready to go each and every week.
I didn't really like it at first because I didn't like waking up early to go to it, but then I got used to it and I was like, this is very fun.
The beat, I really like guitars a lot, like the sound of them. I also like drums.
They had a big concert scheduled in February.
We were supposed to perform at the Minnesota Music Educators Association.
But the event was canceled for safety reasons related to Metro surge.
But then what came out of that was really cool because, you know, we were able to pivot to an online situation.
So they gave this virtual performance. But rocking out isn't the same without an audience.
1, 2, 3.
It's really cool as a parent to see them do this thing that they love that so few kids get a chance to do.
I think it just builds a confidence.
A lesson learned that hard rock pays off. Sammy Selena, Kare 11 News.
Stick with us. More news and weather is coming up after the break.